Welcome to Shattered Ships, brought to you by Fandom Encounters. This is your DM Matt, guiding you on your pirate adventure through the seas of Corsair. Join our party, the Human Fey Wanderer Ranger Tesha Gwyn, played by Bobby, the Sea Elf Pirate Kensei Monk Trigger, played by Seth, and the Owlin Swords Bard, played by Alan, as they do their best to navigate this new world and find their place in it. In Corsair, where piracy is freedom, and freedom is dangerous. And as our party marches on, who knows if they too are about to die. As very much like Evie in V for Vendetta, they are following the whims of a masked individual with a vendetta of sorts, very aware of his own mortality, as the party joins Hemlock Flourish in his mission to either perish by the blade or raise it in victory once more, in seeking closure after the death of his partner, in a test, in a trial, in a temple, in a cursed memory of swordsmen of the past. The party has joined him as they've snuck their way out of town through some clever mask of many faces and deceiving some local guards. Our party has made it outside of the northern gates safely. With Flourish leading them along, they have been able to charge forward into the unknown here. Their first steps outside of the sort of colonized area of Cursed Cove. As we step into this uncharted region, how about everyone gives me a survival check as we take our first steps through this area?
Natural 20.
Shut up.
No.
Dirty 20?
Okay, let's see.
Bad.
Pretty.
Come on.
Nat 20. Yeah! God. I swear to God.
Oh,
I can't get. I was like, it's too early for this.
incredible.
We find the
Okay.
temple, we find the secret entrance to the temple, we've rescued it, the lovers.
Nice.
Session over.
With 2 nat 20s and 1 over a 20 on your survival checks outside of Cursed Cove, I'll even say, as you guys step through the gates of this town, this sudden deep breath of fresher air than you've gotten in the past couple days, as you've stepped outside of sort of this densely populated area where it seems like everyone has a problem that only you can solve. The heaviness of the air itself laden with curses. Stepping into these woods, as dark and foreboding as they seem, you can sort of already see the ground stretching up as they elevate before you, going up into the mountains very sharply. The air feels cleaner, less burdened by the curses, but this swirling notes around you trigger the measuring device that you have to track curses. What has kind of always been, as long as you've had it, it has this steady ding, 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 as if searching for something around it. The longest pauses you've seen so far between these various dings. If you turn towards Europa, you turn towards Hemlock. This picks up a little more rapidly, but as you kind of sweep it through the forest, you're able to kind of get a bearing, and it points in the direction that Hemlock kind of naturally trudges on. As the 5 of you, with Europa in tow as well, leading on through these woods, you navigate them as if you've been doing this your entire lives, with this device from Trigger leading the way. Europa able to kind of chart the stars, able to find a way back, ensure that nothing is closing in behind you, and Hemlock almost blindly, a few steps ahead of you all, strides forward. Gwyn and Kachi, with Trigger focused on this compass, having safely navigated these things. I'll say the 2 of you pick up on some other details here. As you walk through these woods, you get the sense that although there are fewer and fewer curses around you, you are not alone. the two of you probably having forged maybe the stronger of the connections with Doubt the Dryad, you see movement off in the distance, and you see this tall figure kind of in this very similar frame as Doubt. You see them for a moment, and then they disappear. You kind of see it once again as they begin to disappear. As you walk through this area, this northern mountains of Cursed Cove, with a pair of nat 20s, there is also something familiar about the area you're trudging through right now. Nowhere you've physically been, but you notice sort of the plants growing in this region. You notice the coloration of the mountains in the north. You get the sense that the maze that you all were trapped in this illusion created by Doubt, must lie somewhere in the north. Unsure exactly where that is, but you have pinpointed a cardinal direction of sorts. Like, Kachi, Gwyn, you catch each other's eye, and like that moment of like, are you feeling this too? Yeah. Okay.
Oh, Ray said don't forget to change the scene.
Thank you, Ray. What would we do without you? One half the party face down with a sword of pain, while the other face down with a sword of passion. The sword of passion with only two combatants had no choice but to stalk after and go after Kachi. Through dire circumstances, Kachi and Hemlock made their way through, and by teaming up using tactics and some brute force, Trigger, Gwyn, and Europa defeated the Sword of Pain. As soon as these battles ended, the poison and flame that they once had to go through began pushing them deeper into this temple. As you evaded your various obstacles, a narrow hallway leads you deeper and deeper into the Swordsman's Temple here. These narrow passages, if Roll20 would cooperate, there we go. These narrow passages converging as the heroes from the Sword of Pain and those from the Sword of Sword of Passion, emerging and combining here. Hemlock with Kachi kind of shaking it off, dons his mask once again, having revealed his fairly ancient and brow-beaten face to Kachi and reviving him as you all continue on deeper into this chamber at a very similar pace. In doing so, stepping into the next chamber, the fire stops. As you all exit this narrow hallway, the poison sits, filling the hallway, but not chasing you all into this circle here. But you do hear a voice ring out from where you are, as now in this cavern, these two very narrow hallways behind you open up into a large vertical shaft, keeping you from going forward. This vertical wall stretches up on one side of this cavern with these arcane turrets kind of swiveling and coming to life, almost like they're warming up or making a statement here, looking down at all of you. This voice from before, this soft, reassuring, elven-sounding voice. This next challenge is straightforward. You climb, and they will try to stop you. And the turrets that you see here, this wall before you, from what you can see, there's 6 turrets faced before you, in front of a 70-foot vertical wall. Each one of these turrets, a swiveling barrel looking down at all of you, seeking a target, and beneath each barrel, one skinny keyhole, big enough, potentially, for a sword, with the cannons looking at all of you, trying to find targets. Trigger, that is you. We are still in initiative in this temple.
I wanted to
This
take a short
wall
rest.
standing before you.
Oh. I'm sorry? What was that?
You get to go fast. You're going so fast.
Oh, that's so funny. No, I actually think what you said is you get to go first. Go ahead, Gwyn. Go first.
Easy. I cast Long Strider on myself. That's my action.
Does that cancel out the long strider that you have on me?
No.
It's not concentration based, so Trigger, you still have Long Strider on you, so you have 10 extra feet of movement.
I just want my...
All right, that's my action. What are you doing?
You're not going to move?
I can wait. I'm waiting.
Are they firing? Do we feel like they're going to fire now?
You see
If I
that
go back into the hallway and wait for 30 minutes, just to rest up.
You'd have to face the fire. 10 minutes would be about 60 rounds.
Okay,
60 dexterity saving throws.
I'm very... Okay, so it's a vertical climb. It is
I
completely...
don't even know if I can physically do this. Like, I'm imagining myself trying to, and I'm like, all right, so I'll get to the bottom.
Is there,
I hear what the challenge is. I might as well try to climb.
do you have a sword you want to put in one of the turrets?
I don't have any swords.
Oh, that's unfortunate. So yeah, does it look like there are handholds or things to climb?
It is a rock face that is possible to climb. So with an athletics check of 15 or higher, you are. I'd say make it fair. 10 or higher, half of your movement, or like half your movement, almost treating like difficult terrain. 15 or higher, I'd say it'll only take out 10 feet of your movement to climb. And if you roll below a 10, you can only go 5 feet.
Well, I rolled a 3.
You really get set. Are you beginning the climb?
I don't know. I feel like I try to lift myself off the ground, and it's like, I don't know if I want to go first. I don't know if I want to.
And say with lower than a 5, you try and you fall back to the ground.
Yeah,
Both
I'm like
feet
immediately on the
back
ground, right?
on the floor.
Okay,
Right, so
I'm gonna
back up 10 feet then.
Nice.
Hey, fine. I
Yeah,
gotta
right.
do everything. I will dash, and I will bonus action Step of the Wind. And I will just kind of go for it.
Trigger, the most agile of the bunch with Long Strider, Step of the Wind. You begin to take off.
So theoretically, my movement speed in this round is 150 feet.
Yes. So if you give me an athletics check to climb, because I don't believe you are of a level where you can run vertical surfaces yet.
Just wait. It's gonna be over for you, motherfuckers. That was such a fucking journey. And unfortunately is a terrible roll. That's a 5, I think.
I'd say if you want to, because with Step of the Wind, it doubles your movement.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Step of the Wind is a bonus action. We're using an action to dash.
Yeah.
I'd say you're like, with that. So with Long Strider and Step of the Wind, what is your movement?
So, like, my normal movement would be 50 feet for this round.
Okay, cool. So I'd
I'm
say
using my action to dash, which would be technically another 50 feet, and then I was going to use my bonus action as
to
Step of the Wind for another 50
adds
feet.
another 50. Okay, cool. I'd say you lose with a 5. You lose the first 50 feet, but I'll let you make another athletics check to try. You can't get a hold on, and then you need to climb again.
Gosh, a 9.
With that, you are still able to climb. So with that, with a 9, you can climb up 10 feet.
I mean, I'd be better off jumping at this point. Like, my last roll, I don't know if we're doing it by movement, is 21.
With a 21, so if you'd like to go 10 feet on that 9, and then with a 21, you've passed 20. I'd even allow that to be your full climbing movement. So you can, in this round, you can climb 60 feet. So you can be dangling at the very close to the top of this wall if you'd like.
I would like to not dangle if I could.
If you would like, you can also
I would like to
perch on top
yeah.
of one of these turrets.
I would like to perch on top of this turret, which I can get to right here.
Oh, absolutely. You managed to perch on top of this turret, feet on solid ground as long as this turret is not destroyed. If it's destroyed, your footing's gone. But as it is, this turret is beneath your feet, which also provides the bonus of this turret not being able to, would have to roll disadvantage to hit you.
Great stuff. All right, guys. Come on. I know that didn't look particularly impressive on the first part of that, but it's really easy.
This was difficult when I was a young man. This is a bit of a challenge. If you're on the wall, it'll try to knock you off. But if you're not on the wall, it will try to damage you. With that, that is the turrets' turn. The 3 at the top are going to target Trigger. The one that Trigger is standing on has disadvantage to try to damage you. That's a natural 3. It misses. And its second attack is only a 15. Does not
hit.
Trigger. The other 2, the one on the far, top right, will fire 2 shots at Trigger. The highest of them is an 11. Misses against Trigger.
Is it?
Oh my god. A natural 2 and a natural 5. 6 attacks at Trigger and none of them hit.
Is it possible from me being on proximity to this turret that they are taking out its own turret?
Not mechanically, no.
Okay.
They're still able to aim at you. Say
Right.
if one hit you and you caught and redirected it, that would be one thing. But they are
Come on.
built for this. The 3 on the ground. Everyone is going to get a shot fired at them. We'll start with Europa. That is, Zuko decided that my camera was done. That is a dirty 20 to hit Europa, which does hit. Those of you on the ground are just going to be taking damage. Attack at Gwyn. That is an 18 to hit Gwyn.
Yeah.
Hemlock is a natural 1. That's a miss. And Kachi is a 21. So you all will take 2 piercing damage.
Oh, that's not bad.
Very favorable roll for all of you. Europa hasn't even lost her first werewolf form yet. And then I'll just roll randomly to see who is the target of the last 2 of the 6 attacks. That's 1 at Kachi and 1 at Gwyn. It's going to be at Kachi is going to be a 19, and Gwyn is going to be a 16, which will hit Gwyn and Kachi. So the 2 of you take an additional 2 piercing damage as these turrets fire into you from the wall as well. which brings us to Hemlock.
If we take them out, there's a few less attacks. I'm not as spry as I once was, but I'll see what I can do.
And is going to make an athletics check to try to get within swinging range of this bottom one. That is a 14, enough to get within range of this turret, and will make his attacks. He's going to take both of his attacks this round. That is a hit and a miss. That is going to be 11 damage to this turret. This turret is bloodied, nearly broken. So it has one less attack. Moving forward, that is Kachi.
Cool.
I believe you all have briefed Hemlock on the locket. I think you told him last session. So as a bonus action, because he didn't use Commanding Strike, he'll use a bonus action to make use of that amulet.
Amazing. I will do the same. And use a bonus action to use the locket. Fucking gross. Come on. God. Con mod.
We have so much fun playing D&D.
I am so mad.
I'm like, well, I can't climb this wall, so I'm just gonna have to shoot every turret down.
Okay. So this wall, how tall is the wall?
The entire wall, I think what I said was 70 feet.
70? Cool.
65 technically.
Cool. I would then like to, and at the top of the wall, did you say there was any, like, were the notches for the sword just at the bottom there?
The notches for the sword are below each turret.
Okay. Cool. I'm going to action dash, and I'm going to fly up to this one.
Nice. Yeah, you fly up and perch on this turret. Up top here.
Yeah, come on, turret. Hit the other turret. Get the other turrets gone.
I already tried that. It doesn't. I don't think they can.
Europa,
maybe.
In wolf form.
Gwyn, need a lift?
Yeah.
She got a 21 on her athletics check. And in her wolf form, she has 50 feet of movement. Trying to go for a turret. Where you want to go?
Yeah, you can drop me off at a turret.
She'll carry you up and drop you off here. 5, 10. Is going to hold here and hold an action to catch anyone if Trigger or Kachi gets knocked down. Which brings us to Trigger, perched on top of one of these turrets. I forgot the word.
Great. I'm gonna say, all right. I'm the only one who's allowed to have guns over here, and I'm gonna shoot directly into the turret.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I'm not rolling the greatest right now. It's just not my favorite thing. That's a 14 to hit.
14 does not hit. You fire the plunger post down, but it doesn't seem to find a weakness in this metal turret.
It's very upsetting. I will take a unarmed strike on it, I guess.
Yeah. You like bash like the butt end of the plunger post down into it.
Yeah. 21.
That will hit.
7 points of damage.
Nice, not bad. Take out some damage of this turret. It's still seems to be functional.
Cool.
That
I'll stay there.
that is Gwyn.
Okay. I'm thinking that they do less shots if they're damaged, it seems like. So I'm gonna shoot the one that Kachi's resting on.
Nice.
And try to get that
Yeah,
damaged.
longbow up. You fire at the one above you. Go ahead and roll to hit.
Ooh, 10?
That does not hit. It still would have hit the Sword of Pain. Does not hit these turrets.
I will try to climb above this, like, spot that I am. So if I fall, can I maybe land on it? Is that how?
Yes. You'd have
But I will
a
try
chance to
to-
grab the turret instead of falling all the way
Yeah, use my movement to start climbing. I'm good where I am.
down.
It's a 4, but that makes it a 1.
Oh
So
no!
it's like-
Yeah, you go to climb and you just kind of stay on that same turret. If you, with your passive deception, no one you can make it play it off like you meant to do that.
I'm leaning on the wall. I'm like, how are we gonna get up there?
Oof. The turrets. That is the turret's turn. Those up top. The one on the right is going to fire at Trigger. The one that Trigger is on is going to fire at. No. The one on the right is going to fire at Kachi. The one that
Ooh.
Kachi is on is going to fire at Trigger. The one Trigger is on is going to fire at Europa, aiming at the ones who don't, so they're not in giving themselves disadvantage, but firing at the ones who are highest.
They're so smart.
First 2 shots coming at Trigger are going to be a 21 and a 19.
Yeah, they'll both hit.
The first one of those is going to be a pushing shot. Go ahead and give me either an athletics or acrobatics check to resist being pushed off of this turret.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. You resist the pushing shot, but that second one is just a damaging shot for 3 piercing damage.
I feel like it hits me into the wall next to it, and I just Mario jump back onto the turret.
Next at Kachi, first shot coming at you is a 12 to hit.
No.
Going to hit. Second shot is going to be a 18 to hit.
Yes.
And that is going to be a pushing shot. Go ahead and give me an acrobatics or athletics check to resist.
Do I have to if I can fly?
Yes, because it's catching you off guard.
It's clipping your wings.
You can never fly again. Tell this
Acrobatics, that'll be a 19.
You resist being pushed off, and the second round does not hit you. That is going to be the same deal to Europa. That is a natural 2 and a 16, which will hit. She'll make a strength check. That is only a 10. Europa will fall.
No!
Gwyn, catch her! I laugh as I say it. I can. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have joked about that.
The turret below her is still in place, so she'll make a dexterity saving throw to see if she can catch this turret. That is a 16, so she is able to catch it. So luckily, she only falls 5, 10, 15, 20 feet. And in doing so, we'll take 17 damage. That is a good chunk. That is, you see, like she kind of like comes out of her like shifted form, but then as a bonus action, immediately kicks her werewolf form back in and seems as healthy as ever as she digs her claws. Oh, no, sorry, I did that. She will do that on her turn. I forgot it wasn't actually her turn. She got knocked off on their turn. But right now she's looking pretty rough to you, Gwyn, but she's doing her best to hold on. That is the turrets on the bottom. One is going to fire at Hemlock. The damaged one is going to fire at Gwyn. And then the one that Gwyn, you are on, is going to fire once at you and once at Hemlock, because it was technically happening at the same time. So 2 attacks at Hemlock. That is a 16, which I don't think hits. That does not hit Hemlock. And then a 12, which doesn't hit Hemlock. These are going to be 2 attacks coming at Gwyn. That is a 22 and a 16, which both will hit Gwyn.
Isn't that the damaged one that was shooting me?
Yes. So only one of those will hit.
Yay.
So you only take 3 piercing damage.
No!
Oh, I meant to make that a pushing attack, but I already rolled it. So the undamaged one is going to roll at both of you. At Gwyn is disadvantage, but that will still be a 18. So go ahead and give me a athletics or acrobatics check, because this one will be the pushing attack.
7.
Honest question, on a pushing attack from something that is coming directly underneath of it, what direction does that...
It would kind of
Fly
push
upward.
you up. I'll give you advantage on a dex save
Okay.
to avoid being pushed off, because it is the one that you're standing on.
Dirty 20.
It tries to push you off, and it does not. So its damaging attack will go at Hemlock.
It actually gets you to the next turret.
It pushes you to
Crazy.
the top of the wall, actually.
Can you believe I made it?
That is a hit on Hemlock for 4 piercing damage. After the amulet, Hemlock is doing fine.
Well, I'm glad for him.
That is Kachi's turn. No, sorry, that's Hemlock's turn. I had already skipped past. Hemlock is going to make an athletics check. That is a 9, so he can only go 10 feet. But he will use 1 attack to slash at the turret he's standing on. That is a hit for 10 damage. That turret is still in place, unfortunately. So he uses the second attack to take that turret out. So that turret is no longer making attacks, but it is no longer at the wall. But he has 10 feet of movement to get to the next turret. That is Kachi's turn.
Okay. How big of a sphere is that? No, it's not enough. Frick. Okay. I'll take my attack on this turret. It's not gonna hit. Does an 11 hit?
11 does not hit.
Okay. I'll take my bonus action to Healing Word again.
Very nice.
And I'll stay where I am.
Nice. Yeah, you approach on top of this turret, fairly safe for where you are. Europa, like I said, uses her bonus action to enact some more, dip into her werewolf powers, using her second wild shape. Wild shaping, and will slash at this turret, hitting it for 9 damage. And then we'll make an athletics check to see if she can climb. That is a 19. This is difficult terrain for her. She looks at Gwyn. Do you want to stay here? Or you want to move higher?
Please take me with you.
Excellent. So difficult terrain, and then halved again. She can go 5, 10, 15, and she's holding on to you, Gwyn. Piggyback ride style. Which brings us to Trigger. Trigger, also perched on top of one of these turrets. What would you like to do? You have slightly damaged this one, not enough to take away an attack, but you have...
Stop shooting at my friends! And I'm going to Plunderpuss right to the head.
Nice. Yeah, go ahead and fire point blank.
I can't understand. No. Oh, I'm getting to the point where I'm getting angry, and that's not fun. So I'm going to roll with different dice now as just a silly little slap to the thing. And that, yeah, of course, with my unarmed strike, it's gonna hit like a 22.
Oh yeah.
Alright. 6 points of damage.
6 damage, which means the turret that you are standing on is bloodied, whereas unable to make both of its attacks.
Great. From a movement perspective here, let's see. You said acrobatics. If I wanted to kind of run across the wall over here, could I make that an acrobatics as opposed to an athletics check?
I would say running on the wall, because to just go directly across to this one, I would say I would rule that as acrobatics.
Okay, let me try for that. That is a 22.
Yeah, absolutely. You're able to Prince of Persia yourself across to the other turret.
Great. That is my turn.
Nice. Gwyn, piggyback with Europa. You're able to get your legs around her to use your bow if you'd like, or to use movement, bonus actions, however you'd like.
If I were to try to climb and make an athletics check, and I'm like, oh, it's really bad, am I gonna fall?
No. Europa is holding on to you enough. She has made that decision.
That maybe I could try to climb and see what happens?
Yes. That's just kind of the attempt to climb is kind of just your movement.
If I roll a 5, can I move?
If you roll a 5, you have 10 feet of movement.
10 feet of movement. Okay, well, I think it makes sense for me to boop boop and go up on this with Kachi. Just to get out of her way. So I'll go 5, 10. And then I will... I don't know what the move is. That guy's gonna get blasted down there. I don't want to look like an asshole to him. I'll shoot this turret down there with Hemlock.
I'll also say both you and Europa hit this turret on the other side.
Once. You're right.
That one is very close to losing an attack.
You're right. That is the one that Europa hit. That makes more sense. You hit that one. And he's standing on the other one, so he's safer on that one. So I should shoot this one. So I think for a moment. And then I shoot this one.
Nice.
Oh my goodness. That's not good. 13 hit?
13 does not hit.
What is happening?
I don't know. I rolled
The turrets. The turrets are where we're gonna get.
This
the
AI. That's really
put a sword in something. I don't know.
We don't have any. Nobody has any swords. Well, I mean, except for the people who actually have swords.
The people that are using their swords.
What? Give them up. This has to be the last room.
The final boss is always just a series of guns, right?
It's always just guns.
Isn't that just a wall?
That is the turrets. The one that has the most people grouped around it is going to fire up at Trigger. The first one is going to be a pushing attack at Trigger. That is an 18 to hit. Give me an athletics or acrobatics check. I think that hits.
Yeah, sorry.
17.
I should, because I don't think I made my unarmed strike as my attack. I made it as my bonus attack. So yeah, okay, that'll hit.
I see. Yeah.
I have to make it as my is for me to have the 19,
Nice.
which, 23.
You managed to not get pushed off. The second round will be a damaging round, but it's only 14, so it misses. The damaged one up above is going to fire a pushing attack at Kachi. Natural 3 misses. The one that Trigger is currently perched on. First attack is going to be a pushing attack at Gwyn. That is a 14 to hit. Misses
That does not hit.
Gwyn.
Yeah.
And its second attack is going to be a pushing attack at Europa. And that is an 11. That misses as well.
Nice.
So this whole kind of top area of turrets, trying to be strategic, fails. Down below, the turret that is across from Hemlock is going to fire a pushing attack at Hemlock. Natural 5 misses. Damaging attack at Hemlock. 11 misses. The turret that Hemlock is on is going to fire a pushing attack up at him at disadvantage. Natural 2 misses. And it's going to fire a damaging attack at Europa for flat. Natural 3 misses. Damn. All of the turrets suck this round.
Good.
Which
Us too.
brings us to Hemlock. Unfortunately, he also is a curse of my dice. Got a natural 5, but a second attack is a natural 18, and will do damage to this turret. That is 14 damage to this turret that he's standing on, which means this turret is bloodied and will only be pumping out 1 attack. And that is Kachi, currently perched with Gwyn on a turret.
All right, are we trying to like get these things down, or are we trying to get out of here? Come on, guys. Nope. All right, gonna attack it then.
I was like,
Captain.
Natural 20. I forgot I'm the captain. I just died earlier. Almost.
Yeah.
wait, you what? I thought it was just a mental challenge.
Yeah.
Shut up.
It was like playing chess, right? Europa calls out next to you.
Yeah, kind of like really intense chess.
So hard your brain bled.
And the rest of him, too.
12 plus 5. 17.
17. This turret is bloodied and is barely able to function, but you and Gwyn are both still standing on it.
All right. I'm going to give a bardic to Gwyn and say
D6?
D6, yeah. Get to the top of the ledge.
Oh, okay.
Get to the top of the ledge. Trigger, get up. Damage, get up. Europa, come on. And then Hemlock, you
Yes.
got it. We gotta move.
I believe you may have a point there.
Any movement from Kachi?
No, I'll stay here in the middle.
That is Europa. Europa will make an athletics check to see what she can do. That is a 15. It's just difficult terrain for her, so she has 25 feet of movement. She climbs up 5, so she has 20 left. Looks at like Kachi and Gwyn, like, you guys, either you want to get on?
I'll look to Gwyn.
I always want to climb. I will always need help.
Lets you hop on, and with a passenger, she is going to just dash to
Nice.
get to the top of this cliff with the rest of her action and movement.
Much like the Chinese zodiac, I push her to technically be the first person to make and I am the year of the rat. And I will stand up and be like, first one! Yeah!
all the turrets turn to face you. Trigger, that's you.
The one I'm standing on not damaged at all?
I will double check, but I don't believe it has been.
I don't really think so.
It is not.
But the one across the way is partially damaged. This one's the one that Kachi is on is partially damaged. All right, let me see if I can't knock this one down to at least one attack to help Hemlock. 100 puss. Man, it is so funny every time I go for a strong attack. That's just a 2, like every time.
God.
And then when I go to attack with my little hands,
Do you think your gun has like sentient feelings towards the turret?
other guns.
And
Yeah.
they're like,
Wait, hey, do we
I
need to?
can't shoot other guns.
Do
No,
we
you're
want
like,
to have a talk?
Friendly
this
fire.
Is this like family for you? And I'm sorry if that's like really rude of me to ask. Like, I know not all guns are
No.
related. Yeah. 6 points of damage if I just slap the thing.
Nice. Not enough to take away an attack, but enough to do some damage.
Yeah, I'm just like, you suck. And then I will, I guess, head up to the top.
Yeah. Give me an athletics check to continue climbing. As long as you beat a 5, you have enough movement to climb to the top from there.
Yeah, I beat a 5.
Yeah, you make it to the top of this wall.
By like 1. I beat a 5. All right.
Technically, you did beat it.
Yes.
Gwyn perched on the top of the wall with Europa. The wall kind of behind you, these turrets still like swiveling to like track those of you who are kind of at the edge of this wall. The area behind you, Gwyn, Europa, and Trigger, in contrast to this kind of like rugged hewn wall, is a much more welcoming, formal hallway, a precipice leading down to a mirrored plinth at the very end. Statues dotting each of these daises with a single slot for a sword in front of them as they continue on down the way.
No.
Do you think this is a place where we can take a short rest?
Not if we move. I would like to lean over the edge and fire an arrow at this top left.
Absolutely. From where you are able to aim and like fire over the edge because they are able to fire up at you as well.
18.
That will hit.
Nice. I'm assuming I won't deal psychic damage.
No psychic damage to these, just
That's fine.
constructs.
No, of course. 8 cold damage.
8 cold damage. It is still functioning, but just barely.
Just fire an ice arrow down. And gosh, I wish I had a bonus option. I'll move closer so I don't get knocked off the edge. Like I don't know. I don't want to. These things are so scary. I want to be a little bit farther away. Maybe there.
Very nice. These statues looming and looking at
These
you.
cowboy
Tokens-
statues. Are they in cowboy hats?
The tokens all wearing cowboy hats, but they are all of different races, as Gwyn would see them.
Like
those
swordsmen.
closest to you, this like very slight, skinny Githyanki. The next, the Air Genasi with like a whirlwind of swords kind of caught up in like their gust of wind. A dwarf leaning on top of like this thick, short sword, and like an elf kind of looking across from him with this long, elegant, curved scimitar, all the way down to the end where there's like a halfling holding like a sword reverently in their hand, and this like swirling kind of like satyr. But that is Gwyn's turn. No bonus actions. The turrets, down the bottom layer of turrets, these two that are here, try to push and fire at Hemlock, but he manages to slash these shots all the way from him. They all avoid hitting him. The damaged turret will fire at Kachi. The one Kachi is on will fire at Trigger, and the undamaged turret will fire a shot at each Europa and Gwyn. The only troublesome shot is the one coming at Kachi, which is a pushing shot. But it's a natural 3, so it doesn't matter. Right, damaging shot at Trigger is a natural freaking 5. Misses. Shot at Gwyn is a 12 altogether. Shot at Europa is a 16, which will damage Europa. But she has entered
Rigged.
other werewolf form, so is doing absolutely fine. and that is Hemlock, who is going to athletics check. Athletics check is a 24.
Nice.
30 with a dash. He's able to get about to this turret, but he is unable to climb. Actually, I think he'll perch with Kachi, just to give himself a place to stand on, and then it's Hootsie's turn.
Cool. I will bonus action give him a bardic. Say, come on, make it. We're almost there.
Of course.
I think. Hopefully. And then I will go ahead and it should be, yeah, perfect. I'll go ahead and fly to, yep, there we go. Fly to the top. Just at 30. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. And while I'm up here with my passive perception of 18, can I quickly gauge like all of the statues and like if they seem to be like ready to react or like if they're like stationary?
For those of you at the top of this area, all three of you essentially, go ahead and give me a perception check in the midst of the battle that is still going on for now.
Okay. Nice. 19.
16.
9.
Trigger, you're still kind of focused on the battle behind you as Gwyn and Kachi looking ahead. At the very end, this like mirrored pillar, this plinth at the very end. Kind of this swirling mist fills this. As you all kind of reach the top of here, this gold script kind of writes on it as you hear this voice, almost like whispering from the distance that you're at. Kachi and Gwyn, you are able to discern this. Trigger, you just kind of hear the sound of something off in the distance. But those of you who are a little more perceptive hear, when you're ready, face your challengers and declare your intent to duel. With that, Trigger, what you see is these turrets still continuing to fire at Hemlock and doing their best to fire up at the rest of you as well.
If I move back at all, like will they be able to hit us?
I skipped Europa. Europa gives the help action to Gwyn. Trigger, that is you. You get the sense that these lights are still kind of glancing around. If you're less than 5 feet away, they have disadvantage, but they basically trying to ricochet and bounce off the walls to hit you.
So even if we begin this next phase, I have a feeling that they're still going to be firing at us.
As long as they are on the wall, there's potential for it.
That's annoying. And so I will continue to try and take them out while I can. I will fire at the one directly beneath me with Blunderbuss.
Absolutely. Give yourself a little bit of a distance. Not that it necessarily matters to you, but you aim down and attack.
That's a natural 20.
Ooh,
I finally rolled a different dice.
That's all that matters.
Yeah. All right, my D10.
I don't know if anyone saw, but I cast a spell.
And so I'm doubling rolled dice.
Yes.
Great. So that's 16, so 24 points of damage to the one directly beneath me.
You destroy this turret altogether. It was already damaged, and now it is nothing but smoking rubble.
I blow into the barrel of my gun.
Nice.
Yeah, some of us just have a gift. And for some of us, it's a curse. And I stare off into the distance dramatically as I move over towards you guys, kind of like over here. So, what's going on?
Oh my
Harrowing
god.
line followed by Jolly. Gwyn, that comes to you. The help action from Europa. She does not have
Can
ranged options.
The bottom turrets also target us up here?
They are still able to target you. From if you're not on their plane, they can't push you, so it would just be throwing damage your way.
Right. I will fire at this bottom one that's
Nice.
been damaged.
Already been damaged.
That is a 22.
That will hit.
12 cold damage.
You take out one of these turrets. You finish off this turret as the frosty metal crumbles beneath your arrow's might.
And then I kind of just keep looking in the hallway. I kind of want to see more. I want to make sure I don't miss who picks who from our group. If anyone moves that way, I want to make sure I catch that.
Very
But
nice.
the guy I want to watch is on the wall still, so.
Keeping an eye on what's going on around you. The bottom row of turrets fire. Do not manage to push Hemlock. They can only do damage from where they are. The turrets at the top, the damaged one will attempt to push Hemlock once more, but with a 14 misses, and the one that Hemlock is standing on will fire at Kachi, but can only potentially do damage. With an 18, they actually hit.
Then.
And they only do 2 piercing damage to Kachi.
Cool.
That is the turrets. And there's going to be Hemlock making an athletics check. Above a 20, he dashes up to the top. And as he gets to the top off of this rock wall, he's like, okay. And with that, they should be. And as there's no one on the wall or visible below them, even the turrets that are still alive, their
Solid.
barrels go inactive. As our party has reached the top and the final challenge in this temple, they will decide their opponents and their way forward next time with Shattered Ships.
What do?